Welcome to LBM Talks Social Media. I'm Sally Lacey, the social media manager for LBM Journal, and every other week I have conversations with lumber dealers from around the country about how they're using social media to grow their business. I hope you stick around, because it's time to get social.
Caitlin Stone and Chris Rolance, hello, and welcome to LBM Talk Social Media.
Hi,
Hello.
Sally.
Thank you guys for being here. I would love for you both to just kind of introduce yourselves and Big C Lumber a little bit, whoever kind of wants to take that question.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi, everyone. My name's Caitlin Stone. I've been working with Big C Lumber for a little over 2 years now. My official title is Finance and Communications Analyst, which encompasses a lot of different responsibilities, anywhere from financial entries to banking functions, event planning, and then, of course, why we're here today, social media. Big C Lumber is a company that's been around for a little over 100 years now, and we've got 16 retail locations and 3 manufacturing facilities throughout Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio.
Yeah, and I'm Chris Rolance. I'm actually our corporate credit manager as well. The social media is just kind of the side gig, but I started in 2022, and then Caitlin came a little bit after me. And yeah, I enjoy what I do, but when I first started, and this is kind of where Caitlin and I are on the same page, we noticed there was a need for potential shift in some of that social media, and um, obviously we both were willing to jump in and throw our hats in, see what we could do. And it's been a learning experience, but it's been a lot of fun.
So how was that placed on both of you guys?
Yep. So we took social media in-house late 2023, so we've been doing it for about a year and a half now. We started off by hiring a marketing agency to help us get up and running, establish a presence on social media, and once we felt comfortable with that, we were like, okay, we feel confident enough to take this in-house, set a game plan, and focus more on people and projects, things that make Big C Lumber unique and authentic. So Chris and I started off by visiting every single location. We put a lot of miles on our cars, but it was a great experience to get us out there and exposed to a lot of different people, but also different environments that our lumberyards are located in. So we took a ton of photos, videos, kind of kept them in the stockpile that now we reference back to all the time. And like Chris mentioned, it's had its challenges, but I think so far so good, and it's been going really well.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I know, one of the things I was most excited to do is, like Caitlin said, go to every store. So in my job as credit manager, I talk to everybody all day long, but I don't get to meet everyone, face to face. A lot of conversations over the phone. And so that was one of the first things when we started this, actually getting out to each store and meeting the people that I have daily conversations with, is awesome. So as far as our footprint goes, I don't know, Caitlin, you can correct me, but it's like our area is maybe like a 2 hour radius as far as where our stores are. Everything Indiana, Michigan, we have one in Ohio. So the one in Ohio, we don't get there as often as what we would like. And so when we started, said, okay, we need content for social media. How are we going to get it? And that's where we just kind of put together a schedule, started hitting the stores um, every couple weeks, every couple months. And then, like she said, just kind of built our library of pictures, videos. I have a drone, so I'll pop my drone up in the air.
So you're the drone flyer. I've seen
Yeah.
several drone shots.
Yeah. By no means am I a professional. Obviously, I'm still learning at it, but obviously, it's fun to see that perspective of our stores and our lumber yards, as well as some of our customer homes. The builds as we go. We do some cool stuff around Lake Michigan, like we were talking earlier. Some of those houses are absolutely beautiful, and it gives us kind of a cool perspective of the build from start to finish. So.
So you guys had a marketing agency doing your social media before that, huh? Okay. So how would you say the content that they were sharing, like what made you kind of want to move on from that? It probably was not like personal at all. You know, you guys are sharing your employees, and now was it just like products, images? What was that kind of like?
Right. It definitely, now looking at it, it felt a little stale. It was a lot of stock photos, now hiring type of flyers, which are great. I mean, it got the word out, and yes, some products and services that we offered, but it just didn't feel personal at all for a long-standing family-owned business. There was no emphasis on our employees, our locations, kind of what we stand for. So that's really why we were passionate about taking it over, and you can really tell a difference now when we post pictures of employees. We'll have family and friends liking and sharing it, and it just feels a lot more like us.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, and so the other part of that too is money. I guess if you want to, obviously marketing budget. When we had the external company working for us, there's a monthly bill for that. Obviously we have to pay them for their work. And so with Kayla and I, when we kind of looked at it and said, how can we spin our own look on the social media thing? We can also basically cut that monthly budget number, whatever it is. We can just eliminate that altogether. Obviously, we're at work all day, every day, anyways, and so it's like we're always available. Whereas if you have an external company, you have to schedule something for them to come on site wherever it is,
Right. Mm-hmm.
um, go through their edits, approve them. Now
Right.
with Kayla and I, we work in the same building. We can just, she can run downstairs, I can run upstairs, and we could just run this by each other and obviously get things out much quicker too.
Totally. Yeah, that's kind of my experience with, or not even my experience. I don't have experience with these, but what I usually see from those marketing agencies is just kind of, yeah, stale or just photos of things that are not personal, which, I mean, those don't really excel on social media. So,
Right. Well, and I think
yeah,
it's tough too when you have an external company trying to promote for you. Like it's so much easier when it comes from within and internal, and we know what events are going on. We know we have a customer luncheon at a Three Oaks store, and we know about a lot more than what a separate company would, which makes a lot of sense. But like Chris said earlier, we have full-time jobs, and we kind of took social media as a fun gig, and we've definitely ran with it, and it feels like it's become part of our full-time job now.
does
And we
it?
always thought it was kind of crazy because, like I said, we see a lot of the employees daily or visit the stores. With the external company, they would post like stock photos because maybe they don't have photos of our employees. And we would just think, well, this is kind of crazy. We're trying to highlight obviously our company, but we're not actually posting our company. And I mean, if you were to see us, we're running around with our cell phones taking pictures or our drone, like I said, and it doesn't really matter, especially when customers who know us see those posts. They don't really care about the quality that much. They see their sales guy and say, hey, Mark is great
Right.
and we love to
Right.
have him work for us. And it's, we've had a huge reception from our customers kind of when making that switch.
Interesting. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's like I feel like there's so many opportunities on social. Like you can really do whatever you want. And so to kind of bring that back to you guys, like now you have the power, um, and there's just so much more opportunity there. So, but that's really cool to hear about your customers following you guys and responding really positively. Let's talk a little bit about your guys' content. I would just love for you to explain in your own words kind of like what you guys like to highlight, how you do it also, maybe like formats. Is it video, photos, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, we definitely kind of, I touched on earlier, our employee focused. We noticed that those posts do very well. So, what our kind of approach is, we'll reach out to the managers from different stores and say, hey, could you choose an employee that you think really represents Big C well that you would like to be featured on social media? And we kind of give them a prompt to go off of, and then we'll tell them, okay, we're scheduling your store for this month, and this month. And we'll rotate stores to make sure we're highlighting employees from all over Big C, not too much focus on just one place. Employees is a big one, as well as the store highlights. And then we do post a lot of now hirings, which will do very well on Facebook because we have a lot of shares and comments on those. But as far as videos go, and Chris is our drone guru there, he will take a bunch of drone videos, we'll compile them all into a short video clip, try to find some fun music to go along with it, trending audio. And we normally do post videos across all platforms, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. But as you probably know, and I know Sadie mentioned this in the previous podcast, Reels do so much better on Instagram than Facebook, and we have seen that firsthand time and time again. Facebook loves to see a still photo, Instagram loves to see a video.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think in the reels too, that's kind of Caitlin and I's opportunity to have fun with it. Obviously, doing posts and highlighting employees is great. But like she said, finding whatever a trending song is, there's times where I look out my window to our back lumber yard and I think, oh, that'd be cool to do a video of, we have train tracks that run parallel to our store. And every day we have trains come in and drop off lumber. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Let me just go walk outside, throw the drone in the air, pair it with some music, and see what it does. But if anything, it's fun. It's more so just getting that, because a lot of our customers don't even know that we have lumber delivered to us almost daily by train tracks, which is kind of unique.
I think I saw that, and that was a very cool video opportunity. But I totally agree with you, Caitlin and Sadie, I guess, that I've also seen Reels just not do well on Facebook. And my theory for that would be that Instagram is a much more like entertainment based platform. And so I think that's maybe why video like does well there, because a lot of them are, we try to make them entertaining. And for Facebook, I've seen Facebook so much more community based. Like, so LBM Journal does dealer profiles, and we get a lot of photos based off of a dealer that we highlight. And I will only share like a couple of those photos on Instagram and LinkedIn, but when I post them to Facebook, I will post all of them because the company will repost it, and then the people that are in that community will be like, "Oh, I know this person," and like, "I know this person driving the thing," which just doesn't happen on the other platforms. Those just are not as community oriented.
Right.
So I've kind of, yeah, that's just something that I've noticed. Have you guys also kind of noticed your content perform differently on the different platforms that you're on?
Absolutely, yes. And I
What
know
have you seen?
a lot of it has to deal with how many followers we have on Facebook. We're close to almost 4,500 followers, and on Instagram we have about 800. So I mean, there's naturally going to be a difference in like comments, shares there. But I would say on Facebook, a lot of our posts do very well. I don't know if it's the algorithm or what, but we'll post something, and if you get one comment, another person will comment, another person, and it's just a snowball ripple effect, which is great because then your post gets exposed to so many more people. Whereas on Instagram, it seems like a lot of times posts can either do really well, a reel, or kind of fall flat and just get your typical 20, 30 likes and move on and call it a day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think LinkedIn brings a different effect, which personally, LinkedIn feels more professional to me. Posting a picture, an employee highlight to Instagram or Facebook always seems to do really well. But when you post it to LinkedIn, you might not have as many contacts that are close and know say the employees individually, it's a lot of those professional relationships that, Sally, like you and I, we just kind of, I think, stumbled upon each other on LinkedIn. Um, we never really knew each other. And so do you just get different reactions depending on what you post on LinkedIn? We have a lot of our customers also have LinkedIn profiles. And so they'll tag us in a build or we'll post something if we have like a vendor show and we'll tag them as well. Lots of interactions like that. It's a little bit less personal than Instagram or Facebook. Whereas, like I said, if you post a picture of an employee, those do extremely well and you get positive comments, all that good stuff.
So I had kind of a question that I was thinking about earlier today, and we sort of touched on it with you guys mentioning your employee focused social media posts. How do you see your employee base interacting with your company page on the social media platforms? Is that happening? Because you guys, how many employees do you have?
We have a little over 300 employees right now. To answer your question, that's interesting. We have, funny enough, a lot of retirees that'll comment on our Facebook posts, like very frequently. We have a lot of loyal retirees. um, but we also do, I mean, I think a lot of people know that Chris and I have really been trying hard on the social media to push for it and push for this culture of employee focused. So we've gotten really great um, comments, shares from our current employees, but also previous as well. I know our VPs of the East and West will reshare our Facebook posts a lot of times. Our president will comment, especially on the employee focus, and say, "Great job, we're lucky to have you." So I think when outside people see that engagement, it gives it that personal touch of, wow, look, they all actually get along, and this isn't just fake on social media. It's we all do get along, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we posted a picture of our president cooking cooking out, I think it was hamburgers or hot dogs, and that post blew up, with
Oh my gosh,
current
I love that.
and prior employees, of course, they loved it, seeing him get, has his sleeves rolled up. And so we had a lot of comments and had a lot of fun with that one.
people
I
love to see Bill's face on our Facebook page.
do they. Okay, well that's good to know, right? And that's such a yeah, I'm sure people love to see him in that state too, like so friendly and so relatable. Share with us, yeah, what kind of tools you guys use to stay organized, and also kind of if you guys get together and just kind of plan 2 weeks worth of content, or how does that work?
Yeah, so Chris and I actually meet every week for about an hour or so just to go over brainstorming, scheduling out content, seeing what's coming up. And we use a program called Hootsuite, which can be linked to Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram all in one. So it's a very efficient platform. We can schedule content out for as far as what we need. So I would say right now we aim to post at least 1 to 2 times a week, 3 if it's a great week, but there's nothing more satisfying than being able to look at your calendar and see what you have scheduled out. It kind of takes that weight off your shoulders, and okay, if we can take a step back, if we have a slow week, it's all right, we've got the next month scheduled out. So I think it really just allows for us to be in a good headspace and think creatively, and we kind of add filler posts whenever we need to.
Totally.
Yeah. Which is why it's good to have that kind of archive of photos and videos, because you're gonna have times where you don't have a company event or you don't have a huge home being built, and you're just like, okay, we do, so we try to, schedule things out. So we try to do at least one employee highlight a month, at least one store highlight a month. But things slow down, in the construction industry, typically in the colder months, winter. And so we're, shoot, what do we have to post? And, sometimes we're scrambling, but that's where if you schedule it out, you kind of have that bird's eye view of what you're looking at. and something doesn't creep up on you, and next thing you know, you're stressed.
Yeah, totally. It can feel so, yeah, it does feel like when I have my content scheduled out, I feel sometimes like a distance between like the present and my content. I'll look at my calendar and be like, what do I have posting today? But you know,
Mhm.
I made that I made that piece of content like 3 weeks ago, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I just feel some distance, which sometimes I don't like because I think also social media is spontaneous and all this kind of stuff, but it's honestly necessary, I think, in order to have like a really well thought out or yeah, content scheduled.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll pop in just like a story here or there. If it is something spontaneous, a vendor stops in, whatever it is that might be interesting for people to see that we deal with on a daily basis. Take a quick picture, video, whatever it might be. Maybe the sales guy's messing around and just post in a story. That way, it's just an added piece that gets thrown out there for people to see. It's not anything that's groundbreaking by any means, but like we mentioned earlier, having just like those personal posts where you actually get to see an employee and who they are goes so far in the eyes of like customers or whoever's looking at it.
I think you guys do a tremendous job. I think you highlight your company really well. Um, and also talking about creativity and all this kind of stuff. A couple of my favorite ones, which you maybe might know because I've maybe commented on them, um, were what does the C in big C stand for? That's so creative, right? And
That was
like
a lot of fun, yeah.
I don't know, so I'm like kind of curious. And another one, it's driver appreciation day or week,
Mhm.
and I just loved that you guys had those photos in there. You're highlighting your employees, but it's also to this really cool and fun and upbeat song, and like I'm vibing to it while I'm watching it. So
Mhm.
yeah, just a compliment that you guys. I think you're doing a really good job.
Thank you. We
The
appreciate that.
the Big C video I think was a lot of fun for us because we did get to, I mean, we went and we talked to employees, customers. I think we even saw some local construction guys at one job site. We didn't even know who they were. We just went and asked them, and they were some good fun. As we got a lot of interesting answers as well with that. But so many people don't. They know Big C. We've been around forever, but they have no idea what the C stands for, and it's just one of those little interesting tidbits that kind of goes unnoticed for so long. Um, yeah.
And the thing about that video too is Chris and I had talked about that video for months and it kind of kept getting put on the back burner and we'd revisit it when we'd have some downtime. But something like that is a good example of it doesn't need to be done right then or there. That was basically a filler post that ended up performing very well. So I am glad we
Yeah.
stuck with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally. And that's kind of something I noticed too is like with LBM as the social media manager for LBM Journal, like I have my predictable posts, things that I do consistently, like promoting the podcast or just other things like that that kind of happen consistently and I'm posting about them consistently. But then you get, an idea or a day rolls around, like a holiday or driver appreciation day, where you have an opportunity to kind of like think of something new. And I find a lot of those times when you're kind of surprising your audience that they can kind of perform maybe better than usual, depending on the post. But
Absolutely. I think sometimes for the holiday posts as well, I know personally we try to stick away or stay away from just your basic Merry Christmas or, Happy 4th of July. But if you, like you said, kind of do an unpredictable post and make it a little bit more creative, that's when you get that light bulb and a lot more interaction on Facebook and Instagram.
yeah,
Yeah. And I think it's
totally.
important. Obviously, you want to, like we were just talking about, plan out your posting schedule, whatnot, and plan out some of your posts just so you are prepared. I would say don't restrict yourself to that though. If you have an idea that pops up, maybe go out there, like think about it, of course, you want it to look good, but you don't have to overthink things. One of our best posts, which Kayla and I were talking about this yesterday, was a post from last February. One of our employees just sent us a random video of what was it? Some of our trusses being dropped off. We have some huge trusses, 80 feet, whatever it is. It was literally just a semi pulling away from trusses as it dropped it off. And I think Caitlin put some music to it, but it's probably like our best performing post ever. And it took maybe 20 seconds to throw it together. We were just both so shocked. And we're like, we spend hours, if not days sometimes on these posts. And then here's one it's just a clip that someone sent us and it's outperformed everything. So you never know how your audience is going to react.
Yes, moral of the
Totally.
story, always just post the video. You never know how it's going to
Yeah.
do.
So true. You just gotta send it.
I feel like there's so many times where I sit here very hesitant on this
Yeah.
video might not
Yep.
do well. I don't know if we should post that. Yep, just do it. Just see how it performs.
Do you guys track metrics at all?
We look at them. I wouldn't say that we live and die by it. Obviously, seeing your likes, getting comments are what everybody hopes for. Um, I personally don't focus that much on like impressions and whatnot. I would say we keep track of obviously how many followers, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We obviously one of our goals when we first started this was to grow the accounts. They were very, I guess, stagnant at the time. They weren't gaining many new followers, and so we did see, and we tracked it back then a lot as we were posting these new, more personalized videos, posts. We would see our followers increase, obviously, and that was good for us because it was meaning it was kind of starting to expand a little bit. Our footprint with social media, whereas before it felt very not personalized, not really like who Big C was. So when we start putting that new content out there, and we've had customers come up to us, employees will tell us if they see us out, we love this post. You guys are doing a great job. I was in a conference in Vegas recently, and some guy came up to me. He's like, "You're Big C, right?" He's like, "I love your social media," and I was like, "Oh my God!" It's like
Wow.
other people are actually, looking at our stuff and seeing it. So it
Oh,
is a
that's
good feeling.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, my conversation, I was talking to Hamilton Building Supply last week, and they also said that they get some networking opportunity from their social media accounts, like people coming up to them and wanting to talk about it.
Cool.
Okay, so you don't track metrics, but you watch them and you notice them, and you do let them kind of guide you in a sense where you notice that certain posts were doing better, and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna follow that. So
Right. And I think
awesome.
I know you and Rick had mentioned this on the first podcast, measuring the ROI from social media. It's so hard to tell if there's a direct correlation between social media and sales. Who knows? But I think Chris and I as a team, our goal is to just remain consistent. And as long as we're getting our people and products and services exposed, I mean, we hope for the best and we go for it.
It speaks for itself. I think you guys are building, you're spreading the Big C name in your local communities, on Facebook and Instagram, connecting with your builders on LinkedIn. Like those are important relationships, and it's social media. So that's what I think, is important about it. Okay, so one more thing I kind of wanted to ask you guys about was a post that I saw you make on Facebook a couple weeks ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, what happened? This post had like 150 likes, a bunch of shares, and it was just a text of you guys explaining a specific situation that happened to you. Do you kind of want to share what happened, how you guys responded, where things are at right now, this situation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we got put in somewhat of an unfortunate situation a few weeks ago where a post was made about us,
A
and
social
it
media
was
post.
a social media post, yes, on Facebook, and it was completely wrong information, and our name got drug into it. So we felt the need to address it quickly, but this just shows a little bit of the negative side of social media and how misinformation can spread so rapidly without being fact checked. So that's why we felt it was our due diligence to make a post addressing what had happened, and we got it out there. We got great response and feedback from it. The account was shut down that had made the negative post, and it is water under the bridge at this point.
Yeah, it
So,
wasn't fun to deal with, but I think we handled it as well as we could have. That was the first time it happened to us, and it happened. Unfortunately, started happening on a Friday afternoon, end of the
oh,
day.
oh no,
So most people had gone home already, and over
the
the weekend
weekend.
yeah, we addressed it as much as we could, and then I am proud of our company as far as how we did handle it. We got together first thing Monday, had a meeting with our president, and wrote up the statement that you had seen, which politely addressed kind of a lot of what we were seeing, and it, as you saw and mentioned, so many likes from our customers, employees, people who know Big C as a company and deal with us every day. It was such positive feedback that it made me feel good, considering how the whole situation had started to where it ended up, with having a lot of people have our backs. That was a good feeling.
So, was it a person or was it like a spam account that originally made the post?
It was a spam account.
It was a
Yeah.
spam account?
Yeah.
Wow, it's like some random ghost that just
Yeah.
decided to spread lies about you guys.
Yeah. Chris
And
and
there
I
was just a
received. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna, I mean, Caitlin said it. It was basically all misinformation. Like there was an address for a location, wasn't our address. A picture of ours got somehow attached to it, and it got shared, and just boom, it blew up. And we're all like, "What is going on? What the heck happened?" And it took us a while just to figure out um, what the issue was, because then once you figure it out, it's like, okay, how do we fix this? Who do we contact? Message that, Facebook or whoever it is. Do we message the account? And so it was definitely a learning experience for us going forward, and I think we will be better. Now, I don't think we'll have that issue again, but
Hopefully not.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that sucks. And it's totally unwarranted. And it shows I mean, social media, it's like this infinite, it's
Mhm.
like this infinite platform where like that kind of information can spread so large. But
Mhm.
also it shows that your response also had this same effect where it's also spread so large.
Mhm.
And there was a really positive response to your guys' response.
Yeah.
So you guys just hit them right back, which is
Yeah.
good to hear. I'm glad that it all is water under the bridge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
We didn't
yeah,
want to draw more attention to it, but it was also a situation that we did feel needed to be addressed because it
oh,
wasn't correct,
totally.
It had nothing to do with Big C Lumber. So we eventually said, all right, there's more good that's going to come out of this than bad. And like I said, from that post on, it's just kind of dissipated, and we've moved on.
Good. The
Yeah.
ghost is gone. Good.
Yeah.
So, to kind of just wrap this conversation up, it's been lovely to talk to you guys, just about how you make your content, what you like to focus on, what you find does well, your analysis of social media. I think a question that I am asking all of my guests at the end is, what piece of advice would you give to another LBM dealer who maybe wants to start on social or feels a little stuck, just based off of your experience? What kind of insight and knowledge would you share about how to do this?
Yeah, so I'd say just start small, be consistent, post as much as you want or however little you want, and just go for it. Don't be afraid that the post won't perform well. It's okay. Not every post is going to. Another little tidbit would be to look at other lumberyards posts as well, kind of see what they're posting and feed off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think you have to have fun with it. Like anything, even in our normal jobs, you have to like what you do in order to for that to show through on your posts. So Caitlin and I, we love getting out and chatting with the employees. It's so fun to hear about them, like, because we're just kind of in our own bubble the majority of the time. So it's great to get out and see the other stores. But yeah, have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Sally, you mentioned it earlier. If a post doesn't do well, it's gone in a couple days anyways. Down your feed. It's not the end of the world. And honestly, we hit on it a little bit with the metrics. You can look at the metrics. I'm sure they're great, and they definitely will help your account grow. But don't rely solely on that. Um, like I said, you could post the simplest video, and next thing you know, that's your best performing one, and you're just kind of like taken back. So have fun
Mm-hmm.
with it. Take a few risks here and there. But yeah.
I think another thing too would be post things that you would personally share. I think I brainstorm together with Chris and we think, what's something that I would want other people to see or that I would want to share on my Facebook page that I would be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of go from there.
100%. Thank you, Chris and Caitlin, so much. I so appreciate you sharing your knowledge with me. And that's it.
Yeah, thanks, Sally. Thanks for
We
having
had,
us. We're honored.
yeah, we had fun.